And with us right now, we've got Razvan Gavrilas. Razvan, you are the founder of BrandMentions and Cognitive SEO, two very popular SaaS platforms. I'm actually really excited to have you on because I'm a big fan of BrandMentions in particular. So I'm excited to kind of learn about the platform and then also help our audience know that if they're monitoring for their brand, maybe we'll talk about some best practices. And then one other thing I definitely want to chat with you about is what is the experience like in being a business owner when you have your product get featured on Product Hunt or AppSumo, which you have. So first off, Razvan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here on your podcast. And I'm looking forward to share my experiences in the past 10 to 15 years as an entrepreneur with your audience.
Yeah. So where did you get started in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, so I started as an affiliate marketer. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of SEO before Google existed before Google was the main thing. So starting 1997, 1998. So Cognitive SEO started back in 2010. And BrandMentions 3 years ago were the first things that we started doing as an MVP for it.
Yeah, so you launched Cognitive SEO in 2010, it looks like, and then BrandMentions came along 5 years afterwards in 2015. So when you launched Cognitive SEO, what was the objective? Like, what did you want to be able to do for people?
I wanted to provide a platform that will simplify the link building process at the time. So link building was the thing at that point in time. Later on, content became the thing. But anyway, that's how it started. It was about link analysis and link building and understanding competitors' link profiles and their strategies, how they manage to reach particular heights in Google rankings. So this was the first thing we did. We did an inbound link analysis module. And then Google started penalizing sites, and we had this built, and it was easy for us to create an unnatural link detection module. And from that point forward, Cognitive SEO transformed in a full suite of tools. So now it has site audit, rank tracking, link analysis, content optimization, keyword research, site explorer. So it's a full suite of tools.
So I'm not incredibly familiar, although I've heard the names of other SEO tools that exist out there. How would you position Cognitive SEO in kind of the SEO platform marketplace?
Okay, so Cognitive SEO is more of a specialty tool. To use it, to get the best out of it, you need to have at least a middle understanding of SEO. So you can comprehend all the technicalities that are there and take the best out of it. One thing that differentiates us right now in this point in time is the content optimization tool, which does wonders to your rankings. And it's a very easy to use tool in terms of optimizing your existing content and your new content, new blog posts or pages that you want to launch. This is something that very few competitors actually have, and the algorithms and everything that we have done for it, it's proprietary. So it's done in-house with our own research and algorithmic development in order to provide you with all the keywords and topics that you should use in order to get higher rankings without obviously over optimizing or spamming in any way.
And so I guess, yeah, so I could run a site audit and it's going to let me know how my content performance is. And then, oh, well, look at that. It tells me keywords I should use.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very, actually this content optimizer tool, it's very easy to use by anyone, even by copywriters or persons who don't have high specialization into SEO, this particular part of the cognitive SEO tool. And you can see boosts in rankings in a matter of days. So practically we help you craft your content so Google understands it better.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So then about 5 years later, you developed BrandMentions. Why? What was wrong with Google News?
So
or
Google Alerts.
Google
Google Alerts. I was using Google Alerts at the time. An amazing resource, free resource. Let's say at the time. But the problem was that, for example, Google Alerts doesn't report any social stuff. And it also is kind of limited in what mentions they are sending. But anyway, when I created BrandMentions or started working on BrandMentions, there were commercial tools available. And my problem with those commercial tools was that they were reporting invalid mentions, or they were not reporting all the mentions for cognitive SEO and the competitors, for example, that I was kind of interested of monitoring at that particular time. And that's how the idea practically took shape. And we did an MVP, which took about 3 months to implement and see if we are able to collect more data and filter it out so we don't send scraped content or spammy sites as mentions to you. And it worked okay. And after the MVP, so 3 months, approximately 3-4 months, we launched it as a free tool, and we kept it like this for, I think, about 2 years. And in that free period, in that period of time, about 10,000 people joined and used the free platform. And then we, in that time, we worked at building the commercial version. It took a bit longer than I expected, but this is one of the mistakes that I did, because I didn't prioritize more to speed this up and make it ready in 6 months and not in 2 years. But BrandMentions and Cognitive SEO are run under the same umbrella company, and we shared the resources to develop the tools, and that's why it took a bit longer.
Yeah. So tell me about how you, a little bit more about how you brought BrandMentions to market. And so specifically, I'm interested in the choices that you made to market the platform.
Okay. So we are positioned as it's a SaaS company. It's a subscription model. You pay month to month for yearly subscriptions. The lowest price is $49 per month, and the middle price $79. While so we have a starter package, growing business, and company plan. $49, $79, $299. Most of the people are on the growing business plan. Almost no one is on the starter plan. So
really,
yeah. Okay, and we also have company and enterprise, some enterprise customers. And in terms of bringing the tool to the market, when we launched initially, the challenge was for us, because we were moving from an existing free tool to a paid tool. So the same tool for the 10,000 users that were already using the free version. that was not going to be available anymore. And changing the mindset of someone who is already used to using something for free to start paying for it, that's the challenge. And that's why I said I made a mistake in letting these users use the platform for free for such a long period of time. It's because they took it for granted almost. So we crafted also a plan on how to maximize on these 10,000 users that practically use the platform.
Yeah.
They gave their feedback to us so we can create the commercial version, and we amplified the launch of the commercial version of BrandMentions by using a launch contest where we gathered prizes of, I'm not kidding here, worth $100,000 in subscriptions to various other softwares, like, I don't know, platforms for doing A/B testing, or a lot of known brands practically joined our launch because what we did was we were featuring them to all of these 10,000 plus everyone that will join us, plus everyone on the Cognitive SEO lists and other partners that we have made partnerships with for this launch. And the idea was that if you would share this with your friends, you had a referral program. We had a referral program there, and the ones who referred it the most will practically enter and could win prizes worth thousands of dollars in subscriptions from those partners, and that helped us a lot to get a lot of traction initially as a launch, and that's how we made the initial switch from the free version to the paid version using this amplification model.
What a great model. What a great idea to say, okay, especially if another SaaS platform approaches you and say, listen, if you'll chip in like a 1-year or lifetime membership or something like that, just one, then that's all you have to do. And we will use that as a prize. And so naturally, when people are entering this contest, they're going to want, well, what's BrandMentions? So they can go, that's absolutely, I've seen that before. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm a big fan of giving away product or giving away value as a means of just awareness, and just trust that audiences are pretty smart. And when they see something that, oh my gosh, that solves my problem. So even if I don't win this, which I'm probably not, this is a software platform that I need. And so it's, what a great, I mean, what a very, very inexpensive way to advertise, as opposed to, throwing all this money into Facebook ads. One other thing that you've done, Razvan, is that you've been featured in both Product Hunt and AppSumo. And so for other SaaS companies who are like, ooh, I don't know, that makes me nervous. Could you kind of explain your experience with those?
Okay, so Product Hunt, we've been multiple times with both Cognitive SEO and BrandMentions, and these were planned launches. So we took a lot of preparation into making these launches to prepare the materials, the design materials for this, and communication materials, and to also work with specific influencers to hunt us initially, and then to see how the people will react to it. So we were pretty lucky also, and the launches that we did on Product Hunt performed quite well. So we were in the top 3, top 4. I think, I don't recall exactly, but we were in the top, and we saw a lot of traffic during those that day and the next day. also signups and paid memberships came from the product hunt launches. Regarding AppSumo is great for generating awareness around your brand, because they have a massive user base, and their user base is very engaged. So the people that come here from them are very vocal. And they ask for features. They tell you what's wrong with your platform. They share their ideas, and this is great from a product point of view, because it helps you validate in about 1 week your product and craft your future roadmap based on this. You don't have to listen to everyone, obviously, but you can aggregate the feedback that you get from there, and use that to understand where what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and where should you be heading with your product.
Yeah. So, again, you don't have to share the details, but, being a part of like AppSumo is not so much necessarily an immediate moneymaker, although you would hope that people who join you would make it very easy for them to upgrade. And I see companies that don't do that. I'm like, well, I guess they're just doing it for the kind of the product development, product research. Because that is extremely valuable. You just have to be willing to essentially give away, X amount of value. So it's not necessarily a way to make a lot of sales right out of the gate.
You do sell a lot initially. So, for example, our experience with BrandMentions is practically we ended up with thousands of customers in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
And
wow.
This helps you understand a lot in terms of product and your capability, your product's technical capabilities, if it's able to sustain all this volume, because it's also coming instantly like a flood. Upgrades are also a way to maximize in terms of revenue with these users, but you need to be careful how to do these upgrades, because if you try to do the upgrades on recurring monthly plans, which are high, you won't get many. So you need to see exactly what makes sense both for you and for your future customer to pay, taking in consideration he's coming from a channel where he is in general people there don't pay a lot of money on a recurring basis for products, at least when they are coming for the product from there. That's the whole idea. So you need to find a way to upgrade them without asking for lots of money on a monthly basis,
or making the upgrades pretty core features. So generally on AppSumo, I see people expect, listen, don't bring me in and have me pay for a limited set of features, when really the core features are, I have to upgrade in order to get those. So you pretty much need to go to market with a pretty comprehensive solution for most people. I could spend another half hour talking with you about, the value of brand monitoring, reputation management. Can you give me maybe just 3 tips, your 3 biggest tips for how to maximize the value of BrandMentions?
I don't think I have the 3 biggest tips for everyone, because each situation is independent.
Right, or 3 most common tips.
Some common tips are, for example, you use brand mentions for brand monitoring to identify when someone mentions your company. That's important because with all the stuff happening, you don't have time every day or every week to check on what's happening with your brand. And the other important thing is, for example, you can use this from an SEO perspective also. So you can do unlinked brand mentions. What that means is most of the people who talk about brands don't link to them. So when you catch that mention in a blog post, for example, and you are notified about that the moment this happens, you are top of mind for that author, and you get the notification that you were mentioned in whatever blog post. It comes to your email, you like the post, you see that is unlinked, you simply reply to the person and say, hi, thanks very much, thanks for mentioning me, but I see you haven't linked to my site. Can I do anything to let you link to my site? And this is a very good way of getting new links, which will actually help you also in terms of SEO. So the unlinked brand mentions technique is very good. Also, checking what your competitors are doing is important to know and understand. For example, what trade shows they are going, or what places they have been mentioned or they are advertising on. You also can understand what's the share of voice of your brand versus your competitors, understand how big or small you are compared to them, and adapt your strategy based on information that you get from all of these gathered mentions. So for example, if you monitor a competitor and you see that they have a lot of mentions from Instagram and you don't, and you monitor another two competitors and you see that they also have a lot of mentions coming from Instagram, it's clear that it's something that is working there in terms of building awareness, for example, for the brand in that particular space. And you can research more into that. Or if they are mentioned in various newspapers, and you can understand why that's happening. If these are some campaigns that they are running, or it's some organic visibility that is happening. So it's a very good tool for competitive analysis, in order to understand where you're positioned and how you can adapt your strategy or marketing to reach get higher.
Yeah. Well, Razvan, I apologize. I feel like there's so many more questions I wanted to talk about, because brand managing, or, managing your brand, monitoring your brand, keeping up with, every time you're mentioned, being able to address that and take advantage of opportunities that are free. Someone legitimately mentions you, to engage with them, find out who your super fans are, certainly respond to anything that might be critical. And, the sad news is, if you're not aware of what's going on, then it's, that's just existing out there. And how terrible would it be if you find something critical that you could have addressed, responded to immediately, and that thing's been sitting out there for 6 months, attracting all these, that negative perception of your brand, when in fact, no, that's not even actually correct. We could have addressed that a long time ago, or at least, not look like we were just completely spacing.
Yeah, you can practically very easily identify the bad things that are happening about a particular brand, because you do have sentiment analysis integrated, and you can set up smart alerts to get you notified only, for example, when negative mentions appear about the brand that you are mentioning. So you are monitoring there. So it's very important, as you said, to react and know when to react.
Yeah,
also.
through Zapier, we get alerts from Brand Mention into Slack, so we get those notifications immediately, so that we
Yeah.
can jump on those. So, it's fantastic tool. Awesome. Well, again, the website BrandMentions.com, and then of course there was also Cognitive SEO. And Razvan Gavrilas, you are the founder of both of these companies.
Yeah.
Razvan, thank you so much for joining us. This was really, really great. Is there anything else that you'd recommend, just in terms of what people might want to do if they want to explore the features, other than just go to the websites themselves and kind of check those out?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's better to get a free trial and see how these services work, because both of them have free trials.
Yeah.
So they can dive in and see if there is a fit for them with the products.
Excellent. Razvan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, George.